My name is Rob Springer. I'm the marketing director and one of the co-founders of RatePlug. We are a small mortgage technology company based out of Chicago. We work with about 70 MLSs across the country and are happy to have RI Realtors as one of our participants. We have about 800,000 agents across the country that have access to our program, and at any time there's probably about 200,000 that are actively using it each and every day with their buyers and lenders to help them with affordability questions on the homes they're looking at. So, what I'm going to cover today is just a kind of a real high-level overview of RatePlug, how it interacts with you and your buyers and lenders that you choose to work with through this program. I'll show you some screenshots of the integration into the One Home system that is already in existence in RI Realtors. I'll show you some of the marketing collateral that you would have access to for your listings if you choose to opt in. As well as I kind of touched on, I'll give you information about a landing page that you can go to if I cover something a little bit too quickly or I don't cover it in full detail. There's more details on that landing page for you to learn more about RatePlug. And as I had mentioned, if you do like what you see and you want to join, that would be the venue to do that. So let's get started. So what we're going to do today is go through start with the non-fun stuff. This screen kind of is a bummer to look at, but this is what we're all dealing with, and we've been dealing with for multiple years with the low inventory of homes out there and the high interest rates leading to high mortgage payments. There's just been what they call an affordability crisis going on across the country. A lot of people are kind of sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the market to change. And I suppose the good news is that I've read and seen lots of reports recently that the market does seem to be trending to some correction later on this year, with the Fed potentially lowering interest rates, which we all would love. And that will probably get some people off the sidelines and listing their homes and relooking. So good news for all of us, and perfect timing for you to learn about RatePlug, because you'll see how providing payment information to your buyers when they're looking at property is so crucial in today's market. So just some stats that we've gotten from NAR, and again, you guys have lived this for several years, so you know this. Unfortunately, we'd love to all be working with cash buyers, but that's just not reality out there. 9 out of 10 buyers still need a mortgage on a home. So they do need to know about financing and options that are available to them. And a large portion of the buyers today are younger millennials and Gen X's and so forth. And while they might have some really good paying jobs, they haven't accrued a lot of savings to use as a down payment. So a lot of them are looking for solutions to put down lower down payments, and they don't really know which options are available to them. And RatePlug is a perfect tool to give them that information. And as I mentioned, they've been kind of sitting on the sidelines thinking that they can't afford stuff. Rents are going up, and RatePlug is a great tool for them to actually see almost to the penny what payments are on a home. And they may have that epiphany saying, wait a second, that is not far from what I'm paying in rent, and I really can afford this home, and get them to at least investigate and interact with you and with your lender to ask questions and get that ball rolling. So RatePlug is a very simple program to both opt into and to use. We are already integrated into the One Home system and RI Realtors. So there's no additional steps you would need to take if you opt in. You would simply be sending properties to your buyers, as you always have. And if you do opt into RatePlug and have your lender join as well, it would then populate payments for that property based on your lender's mortgage rates and programs. And I'll show you how that looks in just a second. You would simply opt into RatePlug if you like what you see. That is the crucial thing, is that it is just an optional program. There's no additional cost for you to try RatePlug, so it's a kind of a no-brainer to get involved and at least give it a shot. And then the other secret sauce to this is that we are Switzerland as far as who the lenders are that are displayed. We only display the lenders that you currently work with and trust, and we learn who those are through the sign-up process. You would enroll in RatePlug and tell us the lender or lenders that you work with. We reach out to them, get them signed up, get them trained, and they're off and running. So when your buyers are looking at homes, in their pajamas with a cup of coffee, they're only interacting with your lenders and not some mega lender that's paying us a lot of money to be displayed. That's just never the case. So again, once you opt into RatePlug, and I'll show you that process as well a little bit later, you simply send out those listings and those reports will contain that valuable payment information. So I'll show you what that looks like. Now, we are integrated into One Home, as I mentioned. This is the consumer-facing interface of the One Home. When you send property listings to your buyer, they get all the pertinent property data. But there's a link up here, and I do apologize, kind of a small image here, but it says breakdown of monthly costs. If they click on that, it pops up what we call the blade. This would be the mortgage information for the lenders that you work with. And that's the key, is that if you're working with Tim Smith from ABC Mortgage, that's who would be displayed on here. And we do have the capability of displaying multiple lenders. So if you have a broker lender that is an in-house lender that you're required to use, we can have them on there. And if you have a son-in-law in the business as well, we can put them on here as well. There'd be a drop-down box showing the lenders that you work with, and the buyer can kind of go through those and look at their different product offerings and interact with them as they feel necessary. So again, just to kind of give you the real quick overview of what the buyer experience would be, I like to use that analogy of being home in your pajamas with a cup of coffee, looking at a home you like. Now they're able to see for this property to the penny estimates of what the mortgage payment would be on this property based on a variety of different mortgage products that are offered by that lender. It could be anything from a generic, 30-year fixed or a 5-year ARM to a little bit more specialized programs such as FHA, which is 3.5% down, VA if they're working with a veteran, USDA, which is a zero down program out there, and it's based on where the property is located. But we take the effort of filtering where the property is and applying the financing that applies to that property. So if you're working with one of those younger buyers that doesn't have a large down payment, obviously FHA would be a good option for them, or even more perfectly, if it was USDA eligible, that would definitely be something they'd want to know about. You would now have that ability to let them know that there is other options available for them with financing. And when they're on this blade and kind of looking through it and scrolling down and seeing what the payments are, including the principal and interest based on real-time mortgage programs, we're not a calculator. This is real active rates and programs that the lender updates in our system. We'll pull through all the other pertinent information, such as the taxes, if there's assessments, homeowners association dues, and insurance. We'll put estimates on there. So they're really seeing an accurate payment option for the different mortgage programs that are available to them. And hopefully, again, that's that aha moment where instead of saying, can I afford this? They're saying, I can afford this, a little kind of a surprise moment. But there are some other additional features they can do through this interface. This is kind of the soft introduction to your lenders that you work with. They can ask questions through this interface. They can get pre-approved, through the lender through this interface as well. So it's just a nice little handoff instead of having to give a name or business card and hoping that they call. This is just a good source for your buyers that are working with you to start interacting with your loan officers to get questions answered ahead of time, so something doesn't fall apart when you're getting closer to closing. So that's the MLS side of things. Obviously, very simple. You're sending property listings out to your buyers. It's going to contain that mortgage information on it. I think on the agent-facing side through Matrix, there's a link on the property reports that says something like view mortgage payments. If you were curious to know what the payments would be on a home, you can access this information through that interface. So in addition to the MLS side, that property display I just showed you, there's a marketing arm that comes with this, at no additional cost. We have kind of what we call our legacy or static flyers, which everybody's got flyers nowadays, nothing big there. But where ours are a little bit different is that since we have the MLS data, and we also would have the lender's information available as well in our database, it makes for a real quick process to merge those two silos to create these pieces for you. This one in the middle here is what we call our legacy flyer. This is more of that kind of old school, want to print out 25 and throw them on a kitchen table. This is just one template. There's multiple templates available with different picture amounts and different kind of layouts. You can work with your loan officer as far as the color scheme. If you want it to match your logo, you can easily do that. So that's kind of just the old basic flyer that most people have used in the past. We've kind of made some adjustments to our program, and this was forced back, during the COVID days when there weren't a lot of in-house open houses and things of that nature. We created what we call our virtual flyer. That's this template over here on the left. This is a digital rendering of a flyer. It's got very similar functionality of the one home display where the person can interact with the data, change the down payment. If they want to kind of customize the mortgage financing to match their needs, they can do that through this interface. It's a great resource for them to go back to again and again. If you send it to them on a Tuesday and they don't really get to it until that following weekend, the information is going to be updated both on the MLS side and the lending side. So whenever they click in, they're getting fresh information. They can interact with that loan officer, all that other fun stuff. There's mapping, there's neighborhood stuff. So it's just a really robust digital flyer that you can text and email to your potential buyers out there. And we also added on the right here what we call our QR code flyer. And this one's great if you're having an open house. If you print one of these out and put it in a glassine stand on the table or whatever. If somebody's driving down the street and they see the sign for your open house and they just pop in, they haven't registered or made an appointment, they simply take a picture of this QR code with their phone and they're going to get immediate access to this digital flyer. So it's a real good way for you to share information with these buyers and collect some data on them. So that's the marketing side of thing that is including with RatePlug. And as I mentioned earlier, I do tend to talk a little bit fast, especially after a couple cups of coffee. So I'm going to give you some information as far as a website to get more information on this just a little bit. So in addition to the marketing side, you are going to get some alerts from us that are handy. These are going to help you with your efforts with your buyers. This first one here is if you list a property in the MLS, we are notified of that, and we'll send you a link to create your own digital flyer. So you're not waiting on your lender to prepare it for you. It's going to be in your mailbox, ready to go. You can email that out, text it out, whatever you want to do. The second one is great because, as I touched on in the opening, if you do have some buyers that are in need of some specialized financing, low down payment type of things, a little less stringent underwriting guidelines, FHA, USDA, those types of programs, we can let you know that those properties are eligible. So at least you can share that information when you're starting to work with buyers. So we'll tell you for your listing, what the special financing options that are available for your house that are eligible. And again, you can do with that information what you'd like to. So just a real quick summary before we go into the landing page information. Big thing is there's no cost for you to try this. It's part of your subscription to RI Realtors. We do like to be transparent with that little asterisk up there. We do need to pay for our electricity here at the office, so we do charge the lenders that are participating with you a license fee to be displayed. It's a very low number. It's $468 a year, and that's not per agent. They can work with as many agents as they would like for that cost. So I was a loan officer for many years, and I would have loved to have had the ability to interact with buyers when they start working with agents and using MLS data. That just didn't exist back then. So you're not going to get a lot of pushback from your lenders to have this opportunity. Hopefully, I've been able to show you that it provides your home buyers with that crucial affordability information. Exactly what the payment's going to be on the home, as well as giving them some options for different financing programs available. It's available to them right when they're looking, as opposed to just finding a home, signing a contract, then reaching out to a lender. It's not that messy process. It's kind of giving them the information when they need it, when they are viewing that property. Third bullet is that really important part where we only display the lenders that you tell us that you want to work with, and that's done through the sign-up process. You get the marketing pieces with this. That's both the static kind of old school flyers and the new digital flyers and the QR flyers for open houses. And the last bullet's not so sexy, but it's very pertinent nowadays. It seems like every year there's some new guideline out there that we all have to adhere to. Going back to the old TRID payment tables, you had to have those in marketing. FTC MAP guidelines for archiving was one a few years ago, where if you're displaying mortgage information along with property information, you have to store that information for 6 years in case there's any type of scrutiny. Good news is that you don't have to worry about that. We do that for you. So we take a screenshot of every listing that has, every one of those one home displays that the buyer may be looking at. We take a screenshot of that, and any flyer you create and share, we take a screenshot of that. So if there's ever any type of scrutiny about what was shared with the home buyer, we protect you, the broker, the lender, by storing that information. So that's just good to know, that little comfort behind the scenes, that RatePlug is taking care of all that kind of messy work. So next steps. As I'd mentioned, if you want to dive a little bit deeper into this, you can go to a landing page that we've set up for our Realtor members. It's this URL at the top, rateplug.com/RI Realtors. And once you get in there, there's 3 avenues you can take. If you're a broker, you can go down one venue. If you're an agent, which I suspect the majority of you are, you would go down that avenue. And then your lenders. If you want your lenders to look into this, you can share this landing page with them, and they can learn more about RatePlug. But once you do click into the Agents Learn More section, you can enter. You could first off learn more about RatePlug. There's all the stuff I kind of covered here is covered in this landing page. There's access through some of the tabs to frequently asked questions and things of that nature. But this would be where you would opt in if you want to go ahead and do that. There's green CTAs all over the page that say opt in, enroll now, activate. You'd click on any one of those. You would enter your RI Realtors agent ID. It'll populate a form based on your membership information. You can make some adjustments there if you want to. And this would be where you would tell us, the lender or lenders, that you want to have displayed. And again, that's a question we always get is, can I display more than one lender? Yes, you can. We have that ability to do that. You would enter those lenders' contact information, hit submit, and that's it. We're going to take the ball from there. We're going to reach out to your lenders. We're going to let them know that you're interested in participating with them through our program. We'll show them the benefits to them, being able to be displayed to buyers through the MLS system, the marketing aspect, all that other fun stuff. Get them signed up, get them trained, get their mortgage products and payments set up into our system. So if there's ever anybody looking at these different listings, they're going to have access to their fresh information. Then you're off and running. As I mentioned, you're not doing anything different. You're just continuing to send property reports out to your buyers, and it's going to just contain that mortgage information once you're up and running. So very simple program to get involved in. So I'm just going to leave this up here in case you need to write down the landing page. There's also a email address here for if you have questions, you can send the email to support@rateplug.com. On the landing page here that's listed here, there's a contact us form as well. So there are a variety of different ways to get a hold of us. Thank you again for joining us today.